Hey there everybody, I'm Travis Loves Gaming and welcome back to Disturbed. So we had just inspected the stone pillars and now we're going to explore the field. Why not? You find yourself gazing over a grass field with hills rolling off into the distance. As if a trick upon your eyes, you see a unicorn run across the field. It disappears out of sight before you can do anything. Surely the unique powers of a unicorn can help you with your quest, but there is clearly something wrong. If only there was a way to charm it. Okay, so can't do anything here, we're gonna go back. Can't do anything here, we're gonna go back. Can't do anything here, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to where the path split. I'm gonna go to the right because to the right is where this one ends up anyway, but I wanna know. Yeah, there's some more here. Oh no, this is a different path. Okay. You reach the end of the pathway. In the distance is a tower looking over the area. A gate secures the passage to the area with a wall around the property. Also of interest, there is a tree that has a hole carved into it. Ah, let's inspect the tree with the hole. You approach the tree and notice the hole is big enough to fit your hand in. Oh yeah, that seems safe in this kind of a world. You look and see something shiny in the hole as if it were metal. Feeling around with your hand, you find 3 knobs. One on the right, one centered in the middle, and one on the left. Press all of the knobs. Oh. Press the right knob. Press the middle knob. Press the left knob. The knobs lock in place. You wait for a moment, but nothing happens. It must be some sort of combination. Well, if it's not going to kill me, there's only so many combinations of 3, so I'm just going to keep going. I don't need to figure it out. Oh. I guess I'll have to come back. Let's go to the gate. We approach the gate cautiously. Enter. Ooh. Standing before the tower, your heart begins to sink. This is no doubt the birthplace of the spreading plague. The fountain before you with statues on your right and left. Inspect the fountain. There's a dark haze about the fountain. The water is black and the smell burns with every breath. You feel a slight pull towards the fountain as if it was calling for something. Inspect the statue on the left. Ooh. You see an old statue of an angel that's been consumed by vines of thorn. The angel's holding a book in one hand, the other one with one finger pointed up toward the sky. You feel it best to leave the statue alone. How about the one on the right? Before you stands an old angel statue that is broken in many areas. With one hand, the angel is holding some sort of bowl, while the other hand is hovering over the bowl. You notice that there is only 2 fingers remaining on the angel's other hand. I feel like you should keep your distance and just observe the statue. One right. This is the tree. 1 right and 2 left. I don't know what area. I don't know what order that's in, but that's what it is. It's 1 right and 2 left. Oh, come on. I thought I had that. Let's try 1 left and 2 right. Ah. You hear the rumbling of rocks as the ground starts to shift underneath you. Everything goes dark and you sink below the surface. The hole above you seals up, trapping you underground. Nice. You find yourself with no evident way out but the path before you into the darkness. Your only choice is to move forward. You see 3 separate paths within the walls of the cavern. How do you see it all? It must be pitch black in there. Which way do you choose? Well, we're gonna go left. You cautiously make your way through the darkness. Oh my god, it just keeps splitting. We're gonna go left. We're gonna go left all the way. You move forward into the darkness. Is this the same 3? Hold on, we're gonna find out. Oh, okay, we're gonna go right. You notice that there's a light off in the distance and continue to make your way forward. Oh, eventually you make it to some sort of concrete room. Turning around, you see a hole in the wall where you came from. Your guess is that it wasn't part of the initial design. You turn around to see a door. There being little to nothing in the room, you decide to move through the doorway. You find yourself in what looks like a basement. You turn about to discover that in each direction there is a door. Boxes of supplies and debris litter the floor in the corners of the room. You notice there are several markings on the doors and floors, some of which scare you. You've got a bad feeling about this place. We're gonna inspect the supplies. You walk about the room, browsing through the dust-covered storage. You find some rope in one of the boxes. It feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. Can I save? There's no button there now. Let's go left again. Oh. Isn't this where I just was? Oh, you walk up the steps. You enter a large room. The air is polluted with dust and spiderweb covers the wall and ceiling. Where should you go now? Okay. Nope, we're gonna go back in. Oh. Okay, well then we're going back to the tree and... we're going back in. I wonder if there's only one way out and that it just... Ooh, an eye appears before you and as it pierces the darkness. Before you can do anything, tentacles burst from the ground and grip your body. Hot. Pulls you about, but you resist as much as you can. Not sure what you can do, you continue to resist until you think of something. Your body begins to grow weak as your strength burns away. You suddenly feel yourself pulled to the ground, and you are dragged about like a rag doll. It's not long before the creature devours your body, leaving nothing behind. Your adventure ends here. Got roped by a roper. The only issue is... yeah. I have to go back through all of that. Quick save right here. Perfect. Now, if I... like, is forward gonna kill me no matter what? I would assume so. But I want to know. Okay, yes, it will. Oops. Oops. Okay, let's go right this time. Let's go right again. Ooh, the passageway soon ends with an enlarged mushroom sitting in front of you. A steady river of water flows between you and the mushroom. Inspect the mushroom. You walk towards the mushroom as if there was something more than what meets the eye. Walking forward, you take a step into the water. To your dismay, your foot hits no bottom and you fall in. You reach to grab hold of the edge of the surface, but your body freezes stiff. You lose your sight completely as the chilling water sends your body into shock. Without any sense of touch and warmth, your lifeless body sinks into the darkness. Your adventure ends here. Figures. Okay. We're making good progress on these deaths, everyone. This is much more interesting than it was at first glance. Like, I thought it was cute, but now I'm, like, actually interested in, like, what the heck is happening here. Two paths you may go. We're gonna go right. Ooh. As you make your way forward, you discover a large cavern. An old-looking ship rests against the edge of the lake with debris scattered about the surrounding area. Inspect the ship. You cautiously walk down toward the ship. The air is chilling and you fear it won't be a good idea to stay too long. The possibility of discovering something that can help you drives you to explore. As you take a moment to observe your surroundings, you are only welcomed by the trickle of water brushing against the wood of the ship. Every footstep you take feels heavy as the sound of wood cracking under your feet. You feel the ship has been here for quite some time. You explore under the deck of the ship. Nothing but the sound of your footsteps bounce around the structure of the ship. From one room to another, you come to discover a kitchen. Although there's nothing unique about it, you feel you should take a moment to inspect it. Inspect the drawers. You pull one out after another, finding that they have been emptied. Dust spreads about the air. Checking underneath, you discover a rusty knife resting on the floor. You find that there are plenty of hardened rat droppings dotting the edge of the wall. You take the knife in hopes that you may defend yourself with it. Inspect the oven. You see a lone pot resting upon a dusty stovetop. You gaze downward and open the oven door. Nothing but ash fill the oven chamber. You close the oven door. Move on. You continue your lonely tour of the ship only to find that there's nothing of use or value. You discover a door with fancy markings about the woodwork. Perhaps this is where the captain resided? You discover the room of the captain. Unlike the other parts of the ship, everything seems to have been left alone in this room. Before you rests an old wooden desk with papers and assumed belongings of the captain. There's a small bed off in the corner of the room and some chairs in the other. You have a feeling deep down that you shouldn't take anything. Other than the lamp or the other objects, there's a small stack of papers in contrast to a lone paper resting by itself. Approaching the desk, you begin to inspect the papers resting on the desk. Loan document. Notice to the crew. Due to our unexpected predicament, everyone is being split up into groups of 2 and 3. Scouting assignments will be given until we can find a more habitable place to settle. For now, we must do what we can. Stack of papers. Peering about the pages of this collective pile of documents, you realize that none of these are personal notes or journal entries. You pick a few and begin to read. Day 7.
The voyage has gone quite smooth as we begin our second week away from home. The spirits of the men as high as to anticipate the discovery of new lands that lie beyond our documented knowledge. It has been my dream to accomplish something world-changing. Together we move forward with full hearts and unbreakable spirits.
Day 66.
It has been just over 2 months out at sea, and we have yet to discover anything new. We've suffered much through many storms, and sickness has plagued the ship recently. Several of my favorite crew have passed on in the next life. I see this growing doubt in my eyes of my fellow laborers as our voyage continues day after day. Food rations have been cut in half, in fears that we may have to turn back. I dare not let myself think of that failure. I don't know what kind of voice this is. Those men who have lost their lives, the sacrifices to make this voyage possible, I cannot let them be in vain.
Day 91.
It has come to roughly 3 months out here on the endless blue. With much pain we have turned around. Yes, we are headed for our home port. We have just enough food to make it back. I just hope we have a smooth journey back.
It's a hard voice on my throat. The spirits of the crew are low and bitter due to our failure. I do not let myself get caught up in thinking of it. Truly, we did not intend for this to happen. Seeing that there's little left to see, you take your leave. Okay, I'm gonna quick save there because I don't want to have to go through that again. Go left. Go right. Okay, yep. Go left. Go left. Cool. Okay, so we've seen everything in the underground. We're gonna get the rope. Now we have rope and a knife, and we're gonna inspect the supplies again just so I can save, and then we're gonna... Okay, the door behind me goes upstairs, the door on the left goes back into the cavern. The door in the middle, the creepy one. You enter a room full of metal cages. Before you is a hallway marked with unquestionable markings. With questionable markings, not unquestionable. You don't like the feeling you have about this place. Whatever was in these cages surely did not like to be locked up. You notice that there is an animal on the cage on the left of the room, but from the darkness and stains on its fur, it is dead. You cautiously walk down the hallway, entering a room with 2 cell doors. Before you can do anything, a large hound leaps out in front of you. The beast doesn't look very vicious, but one wrong move can surely be the end of you. You pull out the knife and prepare for an attack. The dog reacts and starts to growl at you. Oh, why the fuck would you... Why... One wrong move.
Pulls out knife.
The hound dashes at you and sinks its teeth into you. Even with the knife, you merely cut the beast before it knocks the knife out of your hand. You don't survive long and die a painful death. Your adventure ends here. Okay. I need this one. There we go. So we can't go forward. We're going to go right. There's a large cauldron in the center of the room with wood resting beneath. There's nothing on the shelves, as if someone cleaned this place out. You look into the pot but find nothing in it. With nothing else to see, you exit the room. Enter the door behind me. You walk up the steps. Where should you go now? The far door. The door struggles to move, but you enter what appears to be a spider's den. Oh no. The air is thick. I'm glad that there's no sound. Oh, there might be. There might be a chittering sound. Ugh. I don't like spiders, everyone. Like, I knew that there was a spider death because I saw an image for one, but I just didn't think I'd find it. You notice there's a couple items in the room that could be useful. If nothing else, there's a key on the ground that you will no doubt need. Before you can even act, the large spider falls from above. You have no doubt that it is hungry. Without hesitation, the spider attacks you. You pull out your knife and stab the spider when you can. Unfortunately, the knife doesn't scare the spider and it bites you with ease. You begin to lose feeling all over your body and everything goes black. Your adventure ends here. Well then, why do I have the knife if it's not going to protect me? At least that was a quick one. Okay, we're not going to the far door. We're going to go upstairs. You discover what looks like a private library. There's a passageway before you with bookcases on the left and the right. Browse the books. You take a moment to look at the books. Some of them catch your eye. Deception by music. I'm a musician. That has to be the first one. There's a bent page marking a section of the book. You turn to it. The art of charming is not necessarily limited to the instrument, but how the musician goes about playing given instrument. Some are definitely easier to use than others, and for such a skill as this, there are a few instruments recommended. The harp is one of these recommended instruments. From vicious dogs to shy unicorns. Oh, the soothing voice of the harp can calm the troubled heart. Of course, not all creatures can fall for this simple trick, but it can mean the difference between life and death in some situations. I need a harp, and then I can go and I can soothe that dog instead of the fucking knife. Rituals of the Ancients. You flip around until something grabs your attention. Pillars of stone. Years before current times, there were unique religious practices that revolved around the Stonehenge. It is said that these stone pillars are lined up in a special way and often organized in a circular pattern. Organizing the stones this way unlocks the ancient power researchers still have trouble understanding. In the middle of the circle would be a stone or two for the keystone to rest on. It is the great mystery of this ancient practice. From ancient records, It's written that the energies surrounding the stones channel their power into the keystone. Stop reading because the next page of the book has been torn out. Raw energy is a powerful substance not to be trifled with. It is merely myth that such energies exist. One does not simply stumble upon a pillar of godly power. Even if such a fate is yours, bare hands cannot contain the force. It must be bent and channeled into a specially crafted vessel to carry it. There have been accounts across time of individuals possessing such power. Although they pass away as sand, their relics of power remain as powerful artifacts that nations around the world would fight for. Okay. And after reading those books, that's all the time I have for this episode. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I have other links below to different social media. Go and check those out. If you want to play Disturbed, it's on Steam and it's free. I'm doing a pretty thorough run-through of it, but it's always fun for somebody else because you can make different choices than I'm making, though I'm making every choice because I feel like that's important, but that's just the way that I like to do things. So, thank you again very much for watching. I'm Travis Loves Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye.